Hi, I'm Becky Wright. I'm the director of the TUC's Organising Academy, and I lead on the delivery of all the TUC's courses around organising. And I'm here today to talk about the latest trade union membership figures and the challenges that they pose for the UK union movement. So in the end of April, the Department for Business Innovation Skills, BIS, released the 2010 trade union membership figures. And it's taken us this time to really look at the figures and work out exactly what the picture is for UK unions. And I'm going to give you a bit of a summary here. Union membership stands at 6,536,000. Union density is around 27% of all employees in the UK. Collective bargaining coverage stands at 31% of all employees. And collective bargaining is where people come together to negotiate their terms and conditions rather than doing it on an individual by individual basis. Density remains higher amongst women employees than against male employees. And unions are present in 46% of workplaces across the UK. But let's start by putting this into a little bit of context. The graph we're showing you now gives you the total number of union members over a 50-year period. You can see a peak of around 13 million in 1979 and then a real sharp decline from the 1980s onwards. From around 1998, you're starting to see a much more of a levelling out of that. And that is in part because the trade union movement responded significantly to that challenge and to that decline by going into organising, by making this about the issues that people care about. The TUC started the New Unionism project and the Organising Academy was created. But also let's put this kind of decline in membership figures into a wider context around membership and political participation. The Conservatives have gone from a high in the 1970s, just like we did, of 1.2 million members, and now their figure of membership is around about the 200,000 mark. Labour also had their high in the 1970s, where they saw 600,000 members, and now they're hovering just below 200,000. And the Liberal Democrat Party membership has declined at the same amount of rate. So this is an issue that isn't just affecting the trade union movement, it's affecting all membership organisations and political parties. So it's not as bad as it might seem just on our graph. We are declining, but so are other membership organisations. This doesn't mean, though, that we should be complacent. We have some real challenges, and the BIS figures really showed us what the challenges are for the unions at the moment. The first one is that membership decline that had stagnated between 1998 and 2003 continues to fall, and we need to address that. The collective bargaining coverage is falling. If we look at the free riders, there are currently now 3 million free riders in the UK. These are people who are covered by a collective bargaining agreement, who get the benefits from the policies and the increases that derives, and they don't join the union and they don't get involved in union activity. That number isn't going down, it's rising, and it's going to cause a real challenge for unions to engage with those people. Between 2006 and 2008, we saw that half of all employees became never members. That means that nearly half of the UK workforce had never joined a trade union, had never experienced a union meeting, had never had an issue resolved through their trade union. In the private sector, nearly 3/5 of workers are never members. So that causes real challenges for trade unions as to how they get their message across and how they go to new types of workplaces and workforces who have got no experience in trade union membership. It's going to make the battle of going into the private sector harder, but it's something that we're still wanting to help unions to do, which shifts the focus on the issues that we're going to be dealing with and tackling as trade unions. We're more likely to be looking at the gender pay gap, on pensions, and also on public sector. Union members are also much more likely nowadays to be female, older, and educated, and also work in the public sector. And that changes how unions operate. It changes the issues that they focus on. So just thinking about all the figures that came out of the BIS report, how did we really get here? Well, two things. We can look at our external environment and also internal factors. And in terms of the external environment, the labour market has changed. And with that, a shift in where trade unionism and the trade union base was strong. Once we had a very strong manufacturing sector, we don't anymore. We see much more of our employment concentrated around the service industries, which are harder to organise. There's a change in the political, economic and regulatory framework that unions are operating in. And also technology and workplace organisation has changed, and it creates a massive impact on how people work, but also how they identify themselves within their workplace. But internal factors are also really important. The balance between representing and organising has remained within the representation side, which doesn't leave us much allocation for resources for organising, which would really tackle some of the never membership that we're seeing. And what are we looking for in terms of a strong trade union movement, in terms of effective and stronger unions? Well, we would be looking at high membership density, a high amount of workplace reps and high bargaining coverage. And how can unions address this? Well, the key actions that you need to take firstly are to address the decline in density in the public sector. That's key. We're strong in the public sector and we need to continue to be strong. We need to develop innovative strategies to break into the private sector. And if it's not working, don't continue to do it. Go back and look. How can we go into the private sector? What is it that people really care about? We need to protect and get the most from our resources, and our key resources are our trade union reps and activists. Without them, there would be no trade union movement. We need to look at the extent and the range of organising training that reps and officers get and encourage as many as possible to come on that so they can really understand the challenges and get an idea of the skills and knowledge they'll need in the future. And look at how unions work together and with the TUC more effectively, how we share resources, how we share information, so that that collective bargaining coverage remains strong and our membership increases. Our work plan is quite clear for the upcoming years. We need to help unions to build capacity by sharing the work that's undertaken within unions and look at how unions can use the existing legal frameworks to extend union influence. We're going to be helping unions to increase the number of union reps and to defend or extend facility time arrangements. And we can do this together though. We're going to try to help unions to innovate, to look at new ways to extend their union membership. And one of the things that we're really excited about at the moment is the Together campaign from New Zealand, where there is a central membership for non-members and family members of trade union members. We need to look at community-based approaches and get back to our roots in our communities and show that a trade union is vital to the vibrancy and to the need of a local community. We need to look at how we bargain and organise sectorally, and we'll be doing a lot of stuff around that. Looking at how media and technology can reach new members, and also just promoting trade unions wherever we can. I often say that the best ambassadors for the trade union movement are members, and what's something that we're going to be pushing an awful lot more. Look at examples from around the world, look at how we talk to each other, constantly being the ambassadors for the trade union movement. And also creating a new narrative, a new voice for trade unions. There's a lot of work that our colleagues are doing over at Touchstone around the new economy and the TUC's vision for a new way, the alternative. And that's something that we're looking to extend in terms of organising. There is a new economy that can be founded, and one of which where collective bargaining and union membership is key. And that will be an awful lot of the work that we do in the upcoming years.